Billy and I just arrived back home from a trip up to Massachusetts where we usually hit a pet store up there, and I had to drop off a T. Sturmey to a buddy of mine, Jesse Thibodeau, who I've actually corresponded with for quite a while through YouTube and Facebook, so it was really nice to meet him in person. Billy and I got to chat with him a bit while we handed off the tarantula, so that was a lot of fun. And Kale obviously has issues because he's over there making noises. Stop. Seriously. So while at the pet store, I've been to this pet store before, and I picked up an HMAC that I rescued that was in pretty crappy condition, and two Eulythus species reds. And when we first went, the conditions of the tarantulas were not particularly good. The guy who owns the place is into snakes and has pretty much made no qualms about the fact that he doesn't really care about tarantulas. I think they carry him just to entice people. However, we've been there several times since then, and it looked like the care was getting better. The enclosures were a little bit better. Some of the ones that required moisture were actually getting moisture. Some of the ones that needed dry weren't sprayed down in fed containers. Today we went in and it was kind of back to the same old, same old. So they had two of these that are labeled striped knee tarantulas. I'm thinking one of them, I'm positive, was Aphonopelma seemanni. So I'm pretty sure that this one is as well. I've been looking for an Aphonopelma seemanni. I'll be honest, one of them was in deplorable shape. It was probably about a 3.5, 4-inch specimen, and the abdomen was absolutely shriveled. I mean, I don't know when the last time this thing ate. It almost looked like, if anybody's ever seen a mature male that's on its last leg, that's how tiny the abdomen was. It was disgusting, quite frankly, and I was really upset about it. And then we got this one here that's a little juvenile. You can go ahead and click the light on if you want. And you can barely see it. Hopefully this is an Aphonopelma seemanni. And here's one of the deals. When you buy from a pet store and they're labeled with the common names, you don't know what you're getting. So we're hoping this is a striped knee. If not, it'll be fun watching it grow up, figuring out what it is. But what I got here is an enclosure for it. It's Critter Keeper. I blocked off some of the ventilation in the top because these guys do appreciate a little bit moisture, and they do like to burrow. This is something that I see a lot of people keeping them terrestrially, and they will do fine like that. But they are a species that will burrow if given the opportunity. My second tarantula ever was actually an Aphonopelma seemanni. It ended up being a male. It died about a year after we got it, but I've always wanted to get another one. And at that time, this was back in probably, 96, 97. It was a while ago. I had carved out through florist foam a burrow. I read something in a book that this was a great way to house burrowing species, so you could actually see the burrow when it went down. It was really cool. I've never done that again, but it's something I kind of thought about doing because it did work really well. But unfortunately, the guy just kind of never ate, wandered around, and died. So it's pretty cool to actually have one in the collection again. So we're just going to do a quick rehousing with this. I've been writing an article about tarantulas in pet stores for a while for my Tom's Big Spiders blog, and I keep putting it down because as much as I try to be even-handed with those articles, the whole thing kind of pisses me off how they're treated, and I don't think I can really be reasonable with it. So eventually I will put it out, and it might not be as even-handed as my articles I usually endeavor them to be, but I do think something needs to be said about the fact that a lot of these guys that sell the tarantulas in the pet stores don't even bother to know about the care, or in this case, the guy can honestly give a crap what happens to him, and I find that kind of disgusting. I'm sure if this guy walked in on somebody that had snakes kept in deplorable conditions, he'd be all pissed off about it. But because it's just a tarantula or a bug, he doesn't care. So it's really kind of upsetting. Billy and I on the way home were discussing about it, and then you got to wonder, are you feeding into it by buying it? But I just couldn't resist rescuing this poor guy. Girl. At least the guy was. There is a guy there that is kind of their tarantula expert who has a few of them, and I think he's trying. But there we go. Yeah, you can see the stripes coming in. Let's see if I can do this without it getting out. There we go. If you want to get a shot of it. Now, again, it's labeled striped knee. God only knows if that's what it really is. There's a good chance. So if somebody out there is going, I have one that's this size, I don't know if they show their striping. Usually this young. It does look like, yeah, I can see some of the stripes on it. So it does look like it's probably a Aphonopelma seemanni. If I can get a look at the bottom, it'll probably have the orange too. But beautiful little guy. Hopefully he'll eat. We'll fatten it up. I really wanted to save the other one. And Billy and I sat there, oh God, what was it, like 15 minutes kind of debating which one to get. Just honestly, it came down to I didn't feel like spending $35 on something that was probably going to die, and I was just going to kick myself in the butt for it. So I got this guy. I figured we could save this one. So there we go, Aphonopelma seemanni. Now, again, this one will go ahead and hopefully build a nice burrow. The substrate it's a mixture of topsoil and vermiculite. I got a big bale of vermiculite. I know a lot of people say you don't need to use it. You don't. But I like it. I like the properties of it. I like the fact that if you mix enough of it in there, the water doesn't just pool on top. It sinks down through where you want it. So allow this guy to burrow, find the moisture level he needs. Hopefully he'll perk up. And he'll be in my collection for quite a while, so I feel good about it. Don't feel so good about the way they're treating the teas there. I think next time I will say something again, and I'm kind of running out of patience with it. So we might be going to a new pet store pretty soon, because I think we're both kind of getting sick and tired of going up there and seeing the same thing. It's inexcusable. And word has it that they had a couple dead ones earlier in the day. Just disgusting. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So there we go. The good thing is we got this little guy. I've been itching to get one of these guys for a while, and you don't usually see them offered at this size. So this is a good grab. Hopefully he does well, and I'll be doing another rehousing video in a minute. And again, Jesse, it was absolutely fantastic meeting you, and hopefully that Sturmy does well for you.